At the T-minus 3-minute mark, tape recorders on board the spacecraft were turned on. These recorders record both voice and data. The ignition sequence starts. The engine's now building up to 7.7 million pounds of thrust. We have a launch commit and we have a liftoff. Moving back. The Saturn V lifting off with power.
This is WOMM-LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. Hello, it's a Rocket Shop. I'm your host, Tom Proctor, and with me tonight is Sarah Grace. Hello.
Hi.
I caught you halfway through drinking some water there, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I should have timed that better.
Hi.
Well, good evening. Thank you for joining us on Big Heavy World tonight.
Thank you.
We usually like to kick it off with a song, so would you like to introduce your first one and take it away?
Yeah, sure. This is this is my friend Ben Dunham. And
Hello, Ben Dunham.
this is a song of mine. It's called Birdie. Birdie's on the phone and trying to dance with my voice. She's all alone with her only chance to make a choice. But you got it, babe, and you'll fly away. You got my heart. Barely lies awake, lies to a man about lying with me. She makes me ache because she can, yet she's caught in between. This love affair ain't never fair to our fragile hearts. Grace is on the phone, trying to score. She knows just who to call. She's all alone, wanting more. She says she'll take it all. If you find, you'll fade away if you don't fall apart. If you don't fall, babe. If you don't fall, oh. Birdie's on the phone, trying to dance with my voice. She's all alone with her
Sarah Grace there with Birdie. That was a beautiful song.
Thank you.
So is this one of your new ones? I did see that you just had a new single release, so I'm wondering if this might be a package of new songs.
Well, actually, we're gonna record this. This song is actually about 5 years old, but I have never recorded it. So that's what we're gonna do next. And then the song that we just released is actually Ben's song. It's called Smokescreen, that we worked on together. So Birdie's next. So that song's next.
So, Ben, nice to meet you as well.
Thanks for having us.
No, absolutely. How long have you two been working together?
Sarah and I have been working together off and on for about 5 years, and we collaborate on writing, live performances, and studio work.
That's awesome. And I know, Sarah, that you've worked with a lot of people in the past, and probably currently still. So is there something you look for when you want to collaborate with artists? Is there like a, I don't know, is there a certain quality in an artist that you seek out when you want to make work with them?
Yeah, it's just got to be, the feeling's got to be there. It's got to be, I mean, excuse my French, but it's got to be balls to the wall, you know? It just has to be, you know, feeling there.
Do you scout for that, or is it kind of just how do you find these artists?
I've been really fortunate in this state to not have to scout for that. I feel like this state, I've lived in a lot of different states, but this state in particular, has so many amazing musicians, and we're like a family, and we all know each other, and we all work together in different, collaborations. And so in that way I feel really spoiled to have some of the better musicians just there, just a phone call away. So
I have heard this said, and I've only ever worked in music in Vermont, so you'd have to correct me if I'm wrong, but Vermont is quite unique in the sense that it's less about competition when it comes to music, and it's more about collaboration.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, there's no competition here. Yeah, we all wanna lift each other up. At least that's my understanding.
What do you think? Why do you think Vermont has that kind of reputation, or has that kind of environment?
Maybe it has something to do with the landscape. I don't know. I mean, this is. When you're taking a trip to New York City, when you're coming back on, 91, like, as soon as you hit the state line, you feel the difference. And maybe it's the fact that this might sound abstract, but maybe it's the fact that there's no billboards. I mean, we are surrounded by such beauty. I would think that sort of carries through in people's art. I mean, I know for myself, I always get really inspired, like on certain seasons in Vermont. It's just the landscape is beautiful. There's also not much to do, so I think it could go either way. Like, either people could get into trouble, or they could just like hone their craft.
And lucky for you, you've been honing your craft rather than getting into trouble.
Well, you could do both. Yeah.
How about you, Ben? Do you have any theories on why Vermont is kind of unique in its musical environment?
I do. It's a melting pot. And my experience has been that people are here to support each other. And there's a greater goal. The greater goal is to convey what's real. And there's nothing but support and connection through what we're trying to do.
Yeah. So, as you said, you two have been working on music for the past 5 years. So, but this is the first time you're getting into the studio. Is that right?
No, we released a track, one of Aeneas's track, "Why We Built a Wall," on the collaboration album in 2017, and done a bunch of live shows. But now we're really trying to focus on landing singles and just keep at it, keep working.
What was the impetus for that kind of the change in tact? Why do you like singles now?
Well, I think ultimately we want to release singles and up to an album, and the idea is to keep everything fresh, keep it going every couple months. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time and energy to put in, but it's super important that we stay focused and keep putting out fresh music.
And do you two both write together at the same time, or how does this collaboration work?
Yeah, we have. I lean on Sara a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly do. As a songwriter and producer, yeah, she's amazing, and it's part of that support system that we all need.
Is it kind of like at the kitchen table on a Sunday afternoon kind of thing, or is it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And are you recording at home at the moment? You got a studio that you're working in?
We've been working at the Tank in the Old North End, working with Rob O'Day and Ben Collette. So those guys have been incredibly supportive, and the studio is just banging over there. You know, they're on top of it.
Is it been? I mean, I've asked this to every artist to come in here, but COVID, how's that put a wrench in the works in terms of being able to produce the music that you want to?
Yeah, it's been challenging, but fortunately we're doing a lot of remote recording, and just being safe. Staying in our bubble, and in a lot of ways priorities have changed. And I've said that before, but I think we really need to take care of each other, look out for family and friends. But it's more important that we're actually just safe, and we're doing this in the best possible way we can.
Yeah. Is the manner of your writing changed at all? Or is the subject matter that you're writing about changed?
Not at all. Yeah, I haven't written a song about COVID yet. I mean,
No.
it's not a very inspiring subject, but even though it's like totally affecting us all in different ways. Everyone's got their different version of trouble, of hardship.
Right.
So, but
I kind of thought the way, as you were mentioning, like Vermont, especially the winters, make you kind of hunker down, and in a weird way, that's kind of how COVID has worked as well. And so, being cloistered in your own house, even if the songs aren't directly about COVID, I was kind of wondering whether or not that's given you more time to be able to kind of think over lyrics or rearrange certain tracks, or kind of really think deeper into the music that you're creating.
definitely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It was so this spring felt, for me personally, felt more like a winter. Felt like winter extended. And I personally, as an artist, also a visual artist, I tend to make the most art during the fall and the winter. It's like there's just something. It's like really easy to just sit down and get into a groove where, I don't know, when the sun's shining, everything's beautiful. You sit down, and you're like, I don't want to be in here. It's not. So, for me personally, like my spring, this last spring was like super productive. Songwriting, painting, just overall sort of like, rethinking priorities. It's really easy to get stuck into patterns and patterns that might bring a lot of money to the table but aren't necessarily good for your creativity and mental health in general. So yeah.
I think we've all felt that a little bit, regardless of whether or not we're creating tracks.
Right.
Well, I would love to hear another song. Would you like to introduce it? Maybe tell us a little bit what inspired it, and then take it away.
Yeah. Well. So this, can I play a cover tune?
You can play what you wish.
So this song's called "I'm Alive," and it's by Rusty Bell. And they used to, I think they're from New Hampshire. They used to play at Landon Street Cafe in Montpelier all the time, and I absolutely love them. And I think the title is, sings for itself. So. to the closest ocean that I can reach, and to throw my eyes under the thin blade of the horizon line. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. I step right in to the banner waves that are clamoring, and to throw me down, show me that I'm just another human cloud. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. Out of breath, wondering if I'm gonna die a lonely death. To break the sins in the banner waves I'm clamoring. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. Whoa, I'm alive. In my mind, it's peaceful as the blade of the horizon line. The line that serves steady once again and leaves me on the earth. Whoa, I'm alive. 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 Nice.
Nice. I'm Alive there by Sarah Grace. And sorry, what was the band that was the original artist?
Rusty Bell.
Rusty Bell. I'm trying to think whether or not we've had them in the studio. We've had a few Montpellier-based bands come in, but I'm not sure if that's one of them.
Yeah, they're amazing. Like the super simple, really together, percussive, just really super tasty songs.
I always love having folks from Montpellier in here. They seem to have a kind of slightly different vibe to Burlington-based bands.
How so?
Well, they all know each other, I would say, slightly better than Burlington bands. Burlington bands come and go a little bit quicker, I feel. I mean, there's a big core group of Burlington bands that have been here forever and always will be. But I definitely feel the Montpellier bands are all... There's a real kind of community hub of when it comes to musicians in Montpellier.
Yeah,
but then
I
again,
agree.
I'm saying this as a Burlingtonian who's only seeing this from afar. So maybe it's exactly the same. I'm not sure.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. Montpelier represent.
Right? And
Yeah.
how long have you been in the capital for?
15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So quite a while.
Yeah, quite a long time. It's been such a fun journey. It's changed quite a bit, but it's still lovely. I love it there.
Whereabouts were you? What was your kind of background? Because you said you've played in different places, and you.
Yep, lived in different places.
Yeah.
I was born in Pennsylvania, in central Pennsylvania, and I traveled around a bunch. I lived in Pittsburgh for a little bit, and then I went to New York City when I was young, and then I came back home, and then I went to Moab, Utah, lived there for a little bit, and then moved to New Orleans, and then went back to New York City, and then finally landed in Vermont, and this is like where I want to be. I hope to die in this state, you know? It's best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very sure. I've lived in a few places myself, as you probably can tell by the accent. But I definitely feel that Vermont is a certain stickiness about it. It's very difficult to leave. Or even if you do leave, so many people end up coming back. And I think there's a good reason for that. It must have been a hell of a transition for you, going from New Orleans to Utah to New Orleans. That's a whole cultural change right there.
Big time. Yeah, and especially being from Pennsylvania, like I'd never, well, for one, I never experienced the desert before, and that was amazing. I remember I landed in Salt Lake City, and I got on this van actually called the Bighorn. It was a shuttle from Salt Lake to Moab, and I fell asleep on it, and I woke up, and the first time, like, red rocks, you know, for miles and miles, just desert. But then the kicker was it snowed. So it was like dusted with white snow. I felt like I was on a different planet. Really, literally. I felt like I was on Mars or something. And then the South is way different from you know, up here. It's everyone's so friendly. You know, everyone says hi. People come and talk to you. You know, it's like just a completely different. I miss it. That was such a cool. It's, you know, I carry that, you know, right here. So.
And New Orleans as a city musically is phenomenal. Obviously more of jazz vibes, but even so, it's got so much to offer in terms of musicality and people there are obviously fantastic. I've been down there briefly. I definitely want to go down again at some point. So I did see that you seem to be a performer in very different aspects, a creator in different aspects. So it sounds like you're a visual artist, obviously a musician, and you're also an actor.
I guess I would say, you know, I've done some performing. I performed in Hadestown, the very first grassroots production. But I would also say just there's a certain amount of acting that you have to embody just going out in public, going to the grocery store and putting on a happy face, you know what I mean? So I've been told I'm a great actress, but I don't fancy myself one so much. But performing, I'm a performance artist for sure, definitely. Yeah.
So how does as a performance artist, is it kind of are you putting on events and exhibitions and stuff that include yourself as like the live performer, the live artist?
Only just musical performances. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't go out of my way to like create a play or, you know, something like this, some kind of performance art, you know, that didn't entail music.
I see.
Yeah.
So I was actually going to ask you, how does performing as an actor differ to as a musician in terms of the feeling, the rush, and what are the similarities? But it sounds like it's been a while since you're on that stage.
Yeah, so I wouldn't know how to answer that question. And in fact, like the only acting I've done involved music.
Oh, okay.
So I wouldn't even know, honestly. When I found myself on stage without an instrument in my hands, I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands, you know. So there's like, it's a thing. I admire actors and actresses, and yeah.
And I'm since we've all kind of, as we've been talking about, like closest inside, there's been no live performances really recently. So how have you both been kind of dealing with that, and what do you have planned coming up in the future to try and get around that? Are you doing any kind of social distance performances or anything like that?
Well, we hosted a few small concerts in my backyard. We built a stage, invite only, and it was really nice because we were able to have the neighbors come out, and we had a little fire pit, and they were able to sit on their property. We had, I don't know, 15 or so private invite. And in the future, I'm not really sure what that looks like right now. I have my concerns about hosting any events.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of festivals being advertised, you know, in the sticks, and they say it's going to be socially distanced and whatnot, and I've been a little bit skeptical. I've had a couple of friends go to them and had mixed messages from them, but it does feel like we need to figure out some kind of way, because so many of us are missing live performances, you know. There's
I agree.
It's definitely, it's very noticeable when it's not in your life. So, but nothing planned for you two at the moment in terms of getting that music out in a live kind of basis?
I think we're going to continue the small scale, you know, invite private events.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Before the snow flies, though.
right.
You know, then there's that, you know. I think it seems like, you know, Zen Barn's been doing some stuff, but I was thinking, like, oh, now's the time, but while it's still, you know, decent outside. But when the snow flies, it's like it's gonna be. It might be even more, you know, like a lot more solitude. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we all just get dressed up in parkas and just go out regardless, you know. Well, we've got about time for one more song. So, yeah, what have you got for us?
I've got Dear Prudence by the Beatles.
Ooh. All right.
This is kind of a good COVID song, I think. Dear Prudence, won't you come out and play? Dear Prudence, it's a brand new day. Hey, sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, babe, and so are you, dear Prudence. Won't you come out and play? Dear Prudence, open up your eyes. Dear Prudence, see the sunny sky. Days will change and the birds will sing. Let me see you smile again, dear Prudence. Won't you open up your eyes? Look around. Dear Prudence, like a little child. Birds will sing, days will change. Let me see you smile again, dear Prudence. Oh, let me see you smile. Let me see you smile. Nice.
Sarah, great Sal with a great cover of Dear Prudence. Thank you both so much for coming into the studio. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
It's so nice to be here. This is such an awesome space you have here. It's like I want to take pictures and
Cool vibe.
yeah.
Please do. I'm pretty sure Jim back there will be glad for you to do it. But yeah, keep us all posted on any new stuff and keep posting those singles. Really enjoyed listening to a couple of them this afternoon.
Thanks.
We will have Julius Spellman in the studio next week. That'll be on the Rocket Shop at same time, same place, Wednesday, 105.9 The Radiator at 8 o'clock. But this has been The Rocket Shop. I've been your host, Tom Proctor, and good night.